up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Middle Child Podcast with your girl, Royal Bows. And I am still on a high. This is my 11th episode. Y'all know I celebrated the Big 10 last week, but now we're at 11, so we cannot stop now. But you already know I like to go ahead and introduce my guests because I want them to be able to give you as much knowledge, information, show you love, share love with you so that you can go ahead and start walking in the purpose for your life. As you know, you are appreciated here, you are loved here, and most of all, you are seen here. So I'm super happy because this is the first guest that I personally do not know on a connection level. My sister brought her in. Y'all saw my sister episode 5-6 weeks ago. Yeah. But she surrounds herself around people who are entrepreneur gurus, people who are knowledgeable, people who kind of know the game, people who just will add worth to you. So I was super excited when my sister's like, hey, I got somebody for you. But I'm not going to screw up the business name. Guys, I've been trying to get this under wraps for 30 minutes before we even started shooting. But without further ado, I want to introduce you to Lily Harris. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am amazing.
Wonderful.
Happy to have you here. My sister was like, I got a friend. I was like, all right, who you got? Which one of your friends first? Because Nisha well rounded. I'll be like, I need one of the good ones.
That's my girl.
Okay. All right. So, like we did off air, if you could describe your life in one word, what would it be?
I'm going to say incomplete.
All right.
Incomplete because there's never a day that God gives you where you wake up and that should be the end.
Okay.
I think that there's a chance every day to better yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I have different avenues of incomplete. For the first one for me is going to be my grandkids. I feel like I need to, if possible, if God allows me, be around for graduation, just whatever it is that surrounds them. So in doing that, I had to change a little bit of way that I was doing things. I guess last year I was at the heaviest.
Mm-hmm.
I was about 187 pounds.
Okay.
And so I chose life. I chose me. And I chose them.
Yeah.
So I'm about 40 pounds down. And it makes, I just feel like healthier options, doing things a little bit different allows me to better myself for them. So that's the avenue of incomplete. Just being able to do things a little bit different every day so that I can hopefully, stick around for things to come for them.
Yes.
In marriage, I say incomplete because I feel like marriage will never be complete.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's always a chance to do something different. Learn different things. I have been married 23 years. We started out as middle school sweethearts, 7th grade. So with that being said, in marriage we still have to date.
Mm-hmm.
Because the things I liked and he liked, 7th grade, definitely different now. So you got to ask questions, which is again incomplete.
Yeah.
Our likes and dislikes change every day. So in marriage, I feel like there's always an opportunity to make it better.
Yeah.
In business, with my food truck, Delicious, the mashed burgers, we put a spin on my name, Leisha, and the word delicious, and we've combined them, Delicious. I feel like, in business, you should never become stagnant or complacent.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like every day there's an opportunity for me to try to figure something out to make my business a little bit better. So that's why I come in with incomplete with there. I just feel like every day that I'm given the opportunity to do something different. If I'm alive, let's try to figure out something else that I can do to make my kids' life a little bit easier when I'm here and when I'm not here. Make my business, have longevity.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, with that, things change daily. You kind of got to do different things. So, again, there's different avenues of incomplete for me in my life. So
okay, first I want to say congratulations on the weight loss.
Thank you.
I am a fitness junkie, so hearing news like that, I'm just like, yes.
Yeah.
Secondly, 23 years of marriage is amazing.
Thank
especially with me being in the dating pool right now. I'm just like 23 years. I ain't gonna ever get there, but I got hope. I got hope.
You gotta have hope. That's the first thing. Again, you gotta. I'll tell anybody because I feel like this space we can talk about a little bit of everything.
Of course.
When I say we've been married 23 years, I will tell anybody happily married. I'm gonna say 10.
Okay.
There was some trials. There was a lot of roadblocks.
Yeah.
But anything worth having is worth fighting for. What I knew is that I loved him.
Yeah.
You know, I knew that that was my kid's dad. And I knew that I wanted him for myself. Otherwise, I would have never said I do, right?
Yeah.
So we just had to figure out how to make it work for us. We had to keep outside people out. And then we had to figure each other out. And that's, again, goes back to incomplete.
Yeah.
Learning and asking questions. We kind of fail at doing that sometimes. We stop asking questions.
Yeah.
So we ask questions now.
Yeah.
You know, and we learn each other because our wants and desires change every day.
Yeah. And I think that's something that you guys have that a lot of people don't, because people are so quick to just give up now. It's just like, you ain't put no fight in. Like, come on. And
I gave up a lot of times here.
Yeah.
But I didn't give up. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And he did too. I mean, but we really loved each other enough.
Yeah.
We were kids.
Yeah.
When we started this thing, we know what we was doing. You know, and as adults, we just 10 years ago, I was still a baby. I still was learning. And definitely 23 years ago, I was still learning. But we found it.
Yeah.
We found it, and it's ours. So the way we are now, people, is genuine.
Yeah.
That is my best friend.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's evidence that it can happen. It is.
It's out there. You gotta find it,
guys. It's out there. It is out there. Just be patient and fight when it gets rough.
Yes.
Just fight.
That's right.
All right, and so now let's dive into the entrepreneur side of things. So you have a food truck now, Smash Burgers. How did that come about?
So the food truck itself came about because years ago, I always wanted a food truck. I actually thought if the food truck is mobile, you can make money anywhere. Of course, that's what a food truck is. But I always thought, I'm a beach person. I love it, peace, serenity. But the one thing we did not have at nighttime was food. Unless you were cooking it yourself, I had to get in your car and drive. You didn't have anything that was right there. So I thought, shoot, beach, money, food truck, The Smash Burgers came into place from my husband. He's a big YouTuber, loves to watch stuff on YouTube. We watch people clean carpets for hours. In this case, he was, surfing or whatever, and he came across Smash Burgers. Initially, when I first started doing it, I did a water burger. It wasn't not Smash Burgers.
Okay.
My cousin, Cherie, used to cook burgers in water, and it would take the fat away. The burgers are juicy. Just put a little water in there, patty your burger, put it in there, I did a sale. And the sale was amazing. Like the way they wanted them. It blew me. I did a video first though, because I also have a YouTube page. I hadn't been active on it, but I had a YouTube page where when COVID came, husband put up the green screen. Just one day I came home from work, I cooked some fried chicken and greens or whatever, and it went crazy. And so we started trying to do that once a week, or maybe shoot a couple times. So initially I first started selling from the house. But then when he bought me a Blackstone for Mother's Day. And we just tried it. We played around, and the Blackstone, I did hibachi and everything on it for breakfast. And that's how the Smash Burger came into place. He looked into it. We figured out how to make them juicy. They aren't dry, what have you, and we just put it out there from the house. Yeah. Initially, and the rest is history.
Nice.
Delicious Smash Burgers.
Shockingly, I haven't had one before.
Gotta get you one.
I gotta get one.
Gotta get you one.
So how do you host events or get the food truck out on the road?
I off of my food truck page, but mainly off of my personal page, which is Lily Harris.
Okay.
On Facebook, but I do post to my business page, and I'm normally set up in Bessemer. rarely go to Birmingham. I did have a license for Birmingham. I just never really used it because my people are here.
Yeah.
In the Marvel City. And with that being said, I normally just post to Facebook and tell people where I'm going to be at. We generally sell out. So I'm thankful that the people love me enough to come see about me.
Okay. Do you ever see yourself getting a brick and mortar? Or is that a desire that you have?
So once you've delved in the food truck, I can't speak for others, but for me, incomplete.
Okay.
I want a brick and mortar. I don't want it big. I want some small, just where people can order and go, like the Snack Shack. I don't know if you familiar with the Snack Shack, but it's just a little building and it's just petite. It's just enough.
Mm-hmm.
That is where my mind is now. I don't get to do the food truck as much because I do work full time.
Okay.
But my friend, your sister, says she believes in me, and she believes in my purpose, and I mean that is what keeps me going because people do believe in me.
Yeah.
And I it's not that I don't believe in myself. I am just I'm a giver to other people, and I kind of put myself on the back burner. So that's how I end up back working full time and not doing the truck as much as I want to. But
got you. Okay. So did you always know that food was your niche, or did you dibble and dabble in other things?
I really have never. I really have never. Well, besides when I was younger, I did management retail. I am I have the gift for gab. I can sell. So that was where the first part of my life was, and now my parents passed away, and I had a family rather young, so I had to make sure they were fed, and I wanted them to enjoy what they were eating, and that's how the cooking came into place. I just learned on my own, asked a few questions here and there of people that I could, and then everything I do, I put my own spin on it. I don't want to be like anybody else. I want it to be delicious.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what makes you stand out. Once you start being like other people, then it's easy to get overlooked.
You like everybody else.
Yeah, especially if you weren't the original person that did it.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Nice. All right. So entrepreneurship, is that let's see, is that a seed that you pass down to like your kids and then your grandkids and then?
I would hope so. I want them to see me doing it. My grandson, I feel like he already has picked up on it. He is a self-taught drummer. He is 9, Kai.
That's crazy.
He also plays the keyboard, and all of it's by ear and looking on YouTube. For my own kids, I've always tried to instill in them, be able to take care of you first. That can be entrepreneurship, or it could be a full-time job. Just make sure that whatever you do, you be the best version of yourself. I feel like I have instilled in them, entrepreneurship. My daughter at one point in time was selling like clothes and shoes and stuff like that. So she got it, and she cooks.
Yeah.
Oh, she ain't good as her mama did. But she does cook, so I feel like I have. Yeah, so I think they got it.
Okay. So did you always see yourself being an entrepreneur when you were younger?
No, I wanted to be a lawyer.
Okay.
My husband
Now,
said I got it. Like I got the gift I can talk But that's what I wanted.
Okay. It's funny that you say that because I am literally on the edge of, do I want to go to law school? Do I not? I already took the LSAT. I got a score that will put me in there, but now I'm just like, but do I really want to?
He put things in your path for a reason.
He do. Last year, I took 6 months off social media. In December, I did the second half. In December, I was like, all right, we finna get ready to get back on social media, God. What do you want me to do? He said 2 things. He said law school and podcast. I said, I have no debt. I don't want any student loans. So law school, I don't think it's going to be, I'm not seeing that one.
So I don't, again, Nisha's my friend.
Yeah.
Podcast, we doing it.
Yeah.
Right? And I had a podcast myself. So here, and then we talk law. I don't know what you thought about before, and you didn't know what I thought about. God does things for a reason. He puts people in your path.
He does. And I'm at that stage now where I play about not knowing if I'm going to go back. I'm going to do it, or at least take the necessary steps, because what I can't afford is to disobey him again.
That debt is worse than any debt you can.
Yes, that's one thing I cannot afford. So I joke about not being serious about it, but every time I get the confirmation, I'm like, at this point, me disobeying you, I'm signing up for whatever
That's right.
comes.
And let me tell you this: I get slapped daily with this sandal on the back of my neck. I'm hard headed.
Yeah.
I'm hard on myself because I asked for something. I did ask for a food truck. I didn't know in the manner in which it was going to come. Could we have probably gone on and bought one at some point in time? We probably could have incurred debt like that.
Yeah.
But my husband, again, believes in me. And when I came home one day from work, he had bought what I would say is the shell. Everything that we put in there, we bought. Everything is ours. We own it.
Come on,
so I don't owe anybody anything.
Yeah.
And so whatever I decide to do with it is my own business.
Yeah.
Because it's mine and it's paid for. But I am disobedient. I did go back to work full time. I had quit. The money it was great money, but you have to be consistent.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that when you take the leap of faith, because you still got to be smart about what you're doing. I am a firm believer in God. I know what He can do for me, but I also know I get an Alabama Power bill just like the next person do.
Yeah.
I pay for it, right? So I do. But I am slapped every day. Right on the back of the neck every day because I ain't supposed to be where I am, but I committed to something, and I'm trying to see it through. And I honestly don't know if I will because I have to learn to take care of me.
Yeah.
God gave me this food truck. I had my own vision.
Yeah.
And He gave me the avenue to fulfill it. So now what am I doing? I ask myself that all the time. What are you doing?
Ooh.
When people, again this morning, I posted a picture of one of my smash burgers, and then where the food truck at?
Yeah.
Yesterday I posted, it was breakfast. It wasn't even nothing on the food truck. Girl, what food truck is? I hear you, God. I'm the one that's not listening and doing what you told me to do. I know.
Yeah.
Got slapped again while I was talking.
But He's so gracious with you. He's so gracious.
I hear you, God.
Oh, goodness. All right. So you mentioned that you also had, I guess you could call it a podcast. Could you dive deeper into telling us about that?
So it was Juicy Conversation.
Okay. That's so funny that you have a food truck called Burgers Juicy. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. With the podcast, it was just supposed to be able, like I said, to talk about a little bit of everything, but it turned into mainly about sex. I don't want to just talk about sex.
Yeah.
I could.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the goal. So I kind of turned the knob down on it, but I maybe incomplete.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So with the burgers.
Okay.
And this is off the subject, but
Yeah.
With the food truck, I don't top. Okay, so if you're a lettuce, tomato, all that girly, that's not what we do.
Okay.
I, on my food truck, want you to taste what you're eating. I have my own seasoning. So generally when we make burgers, you will get cheese, you get 2 fresh ground beef patties.
Yeah.
Seasoned to perfection, honey. And then the only toppings I do is, I will do mushrooms.
Okay.
We do bacon. And sometimes grilled onions. I have
Okay.
a homemade barbecue sauce sometimes that I do, but you top your own burgers. I give you not lettuce, ketchup, mayo packages, but you will not need them.
Okay. All right.
That's the difference. When I say I want to stand out from others, lettuce and tomato don't go on my burger. Unless you want it, but you will not get it off the little red food truck.
Right. All right. So you got your own seasoning. You gonna sell that, right?
Okay.
Incomplete.
God, you not again. Incomplete. I do have my own seasoning.
Okay.
I have talked about it for forever. I'm hard-headed.
Yeah.
I honestly know that if in putting it out, it is good. It's actually amazing. So you can use it on anything. You can use it on steaks. You can use it on your burger. It ain't gonna taste like mine.
Right.
But you can do it on chicken and pork chop like Mama cooked today. I just gotta be steadfast in getting it out there. But yes, I do have my own seasoning.
Okay. Nice.
None of your damn business is the name of it.
Oh, all right.
Because it ain't none of your damn business what's in it.
but it tastes good. That's all you need to know.
It's a delicious, baby.
All right, so I'm not going to let you drift away from that podcast conversation too easy. Only because I met your husband and he actually helped us with some difficulties that we had. And so I just see that as equally yoked. That's a total package because you have a business and then you have your own marketing team in the same household where a lot of people kind of struggle with that. Like without my brother, this what people see, oh my goodness.
So for me, in the podcast, so my husband went to school. He can edit. He does all of that. I kind of was. It was never a thing necessarily for me. Mm-hmm. It was, but it wasn't. It was something for him. What's for him is for me though, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of tried to just to do it to satisfy his desires as well as my own. Mm-hmm. So with that, the only thing about that is I hate to feel scripted. Okay. When I talk, when I'm doing stuff, if it's funny, it's naturally funny.
Yeah.
With that, I kind of like we're right down. We're gonna ask this question. Yeah. I'm like, no, like it does not feel natural and it doesn't feel like Leisha. So it was a little bit harder for me to stay in it. Mm. I felt a little bit better when we were live. Not necessarily putting the green screen in the bag, and then like having questions. And I didn't want it like that, but when we were live, it was a lot better. But the questions, just for whatever reason, kept going to sex.
Yeah.
People on there like sex, and that's fine. But I wanted to talk about a little bit of everything. When I meant juicy. Anything can be juicy.
Right.
So that's the only reason we stopped that. I did have a lot of people asking me again, when we're going to bring it back. Mm-hmm. I still have people messaging me, asking me just life questions. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason, people do tend to come to me for certain things. Mm-hmm. Advice, I guess, if you will. But it's, again, we go back to incomplete.
Yeah.
Maybe, in a year or so from now, I may feel a little bit different. I might have another story to tell. A lot could happen in a year.
Yes.
Maybe.
That's true. And it can be a different setup. Mm-hmm. I've tried podcasts like 3 times. This is my 3rd time. Well, I was on one on the radio station with my friends. That's when I was like, you know what, we're going to do the podcast. My first time, I invited my best friend to be a host with me. Okay. I could see that she wasn't passionate with it, so it kind of pulled me down. The second time, I had 2 other hosts. But during this whole process, I had people saying, no, Rebecca, do it by yourself. And I was like, nobody wants to hear like what I have to say. I don't have like that much experience. And I just kept hearing that. And so like this go round, it's just like, all right, cool. We're going to stick with it. And I think it was because I finally started to obey what God told me. So.
Well, I think you're doing great.
Yes, thank you.
Again, you will never know.
Until you try it.
Until you try it.
Yeah.
And it's great to do it with people. Mm-hmm. That's great. But it's even greater when you can say you did it alone. Yeah. Yeah. The reward is bigger.
It is. Mm-hmm. It is. And the responsibility.
It is.
But
it is more responsibility. But I mean, when you accomplish whatever it is, I mean, that smile that you just gave me, it's so much. I mean, it's so much behind it.
It is.
It's excitement. It's excitement for what's to come.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, okay, that's confirmation. Because I'm dreading doing an episode by myself. No. Sitting and just talking to this camera like this, I'm like, okay, episode 59.
Yeah, but let me tell you something else, and I can't even think of the name. We actually went, his name is Dedrick Turner. I can't think of the name of it there, but we also did, we were going there every week and doing their, I guess it would be a podcast for them too. We did that too. So, it was just them, and then they would bring people all the time too. So, I mean, I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
If it works, it works. If it does not, it does not. But this works for you. I feel comfortable, and even if. I mean, of course, I've seen you before. Yeah. But to come in here and not have Nisha here or whatever, and still sit here and still feel the same comfort, yeah, you got it.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you. All right. So if you could go back and tell your younger self one thing, what would it be?
Make sure that you're good first. Focus on yourself. I love my kids unconditionally, but I do feel like I didn't get to be a kid. So I chose parenthood pretty early. I had graduated high school, but it wasn't long after. Like within the first year, I was pregnant with my daughter, who's about to be 26.
Ooh.
So with that being said, I just
gotta say, you and your husband do not look like
Ooh,
y'all
thank
look
you,
young.
girl.
Like y'all, when you said you had great kids, when you first, I was trying to keep my composure. I was like,
I got two. Yeah. My kids are 26 and 22.
Y'all look good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still would just say, I mean, I wouldn't change anything about the path that I've taken. But if I had to think about my younger self, it would be, I do wish I had focused on me first. I think that kind of led me to not focus on myself as much in my older age too. I'm finna be a fine, 45.
Come on.
But I had become a yes girl. Yes to everybody. And I think that, earlier on, I just kind of had to figure stuff out, and I helped a lot of people. And I stopped helping myself. I stopped doing stuff for me. So my younger self would say, focus on you first. Make sure that you're good before you say yes to everybody else.
Yeah. No is powerful.
They hate it.
Yes, it's encouraging.
They hate it. And one thing, no, my no is sometimes silence. Ooh. I don't respond. I stop responding.
Yeah.
Because I'm a believer about energies.
Yes.
And so some days I don't want to talk. And it's not because I don't love you. It's not because I don't want to hear you. But two things. One, sometimes I can't receive it. And if you call and say you got something going on, I don't want to take that away from you. I want to be able to give you what you need from me. So sometimes I can't answer because I can't receive what you're giving me because it becomes heavy. I carry other people's problems, and I had to stop doing that. So I had to learn some boundaries, and I had to learn when I had to put me first. And so now I'm in my season of no, and it works.
Yes.
I love it.
It is. It's lovely here.
It's lovely here. That's how I still keep looking the way I'm looking. No. No. Like my 2-year-old grandson.
Yeah, it's peaceful. It keep you looking youthful because you're not dealing with all the stress. And
yeah, no is okay. I had to learn that no is okay.
So do you practice self-care?
So my self-care, and it was funny. Yesterday I had a lot going on. I had one of my friend's son graduation. I had my aunt's party. And then I had my girl, because I love her. And she do my hair. And I do everything according to her schedule because she accommodates me. But that is my... I told my husband yesterday, he was like, well, you got to go and get your hair done, whatever. And I said, you know what? That's for me, though. Everything else I did all day long has been for somebody else. I got to put me first.
Yeah.
So my hair is curled today because I chose me.
Yeah.
Self-care for me is sometimes reading a book.
Okay.
I love to read. Self-care is the beach. I take the book to the beach.
Yeah.
Self-care is no. And self-care is just kind of taking care of me. And I do practice it. More so now in the 40 plus years than back then.
Okay. It's interesting that you say beach. I'm a cabin person. I got to be out in the woods, secluded. Yeah. I'm not a beach person at all. Yeah.
No.
I love being isolated in the middle of nowhere.
Can we be like isolated on the island?
No. I cannot. I don't know. A lot of my friends and guests that I've had on, they choose the beach. And I'm just like, no, I need cabin.
But guess what? When I choose the beach, though, I don't necessarily choose the beach on the beach.
Okay.
I choose to do it from a balcony.
Okay, I can see
you're
that.
not going to do is take me to the beach and let me see the sidewalk. So when we go, I got to have a balcony. It has to be a nice one. But I don't necessarily always go to the beach. I don't have to get in the water.
Okay.
I just need, I have to hear it.
Okay.
And I love to be out there at night, not on the beach, but on the balcony. So maybe it's I don't know if that's one and the same.
Okay.
But I do love a cabin. But if I had to choose, it would be
the beach. And I'm choosing the cabin every time. I want to be out there with the bears, the fox. Yeah, that's
why I want to go out.
All of that. Yeah, it's lovely.
No.
It's
I seen plenty of the bears in the cars and stuff. Girl, no. I don't know now because y'all done seen some weird stuff happening lately on the beach.
Oh.
They done had snakes on the beach. That's what's
where they coming from.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't go out there. So I'm like, why would you be here? Alligators.
Yeah.
They have been on the beach, so maybe I probably need to go to the cabin.
Okay. You really go see him then.
Yeah, just give me a pool in the inside. That probably be good.
Okay, so you said something interesting, and I'm trying to put it together. So one of your self-care things is saying no, and it's interesting because you're also a mom. So how do you find that common ground? Because I know like a lot of the mothers that I have talked to, they can't find that ground with standing on the no when it comes to the child, when it comes to protecting their peace too.
That'd probably be. I probably don't.
Okay.
That's probably my only. Well, okay. It has. It's easier now with grandkids for the no for my kids.
Okay.
It's not as easy with the no for my grandkids.
Okay.
But I will say as they have gotten older, my no has become more prominent.
Okay.
Because they have to learn. They have to become adults.
Yeah.
So when I do say no, it's because I want to teach them a lesson, and they can't come to me for just about anything, but they also have to learn to become adults and know how to figure it out. Now I might have an answer on reserve, but I want you to try to figure it out first. So I may give you a no initially, and then eventually become a yes, but I got to see how you gonna figure it out because, honey, my husband want to travel. He want to get in a Winnebago right now and just travel the world. My hesitancy is with my kids.
Ooh.
Only because I've raised them well. I know what I've instilled in them. But when I'm away too long, I gotta get a little anxiety.
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing? You know, my husband ain't the same. He'll be like, "Girl, let them sure do what they doing. You know, let them go on. He want to ride." So I do have to learn to completely step away from that because again, they are 26 and 22. And my husband ready to travel.
Yeah.
And this is one of them incomplete things where I gotta see about him too. So I'm figuring it out. No is hard for kids. There are not really no boundaries sometimes when it comes to them. At least my kids are spoiled.
Yeah.
Right. So with that being said, I probably do say yes a little bit more. But I have began the no because they are of age. And I need them to know. I need to know that when I am traveling or whatever, my no helped them learn something to use when I'm not around. And I think they got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they got it.
All right. So, what is some advice that you want to leave the people with today?
In marriage, it's worth it. Today may not seem that way, and sometimes tomorrow may not. But always ask questions. People don't listen. You can ask the question, we can talk, but we don't always listen. In marriage, you got to listen, and you got to be willing to bend a little bit. And everybody is not open to doing that.
Trust me, I'm in the dating pool now, and I'm
and it's not easy.
Punching L.
Especially if, what I had to learn in my marriage, and this is what I will leave in the marriage piece of it. It's okay to still be Leisha. It's okay to be Roderick, and it's okay to be us. And younger self, girl, I was like, where you going? Where you at? Down their phone. But as we got older, my trust built. And sometimes people don't, they don't have it like that. My trust is different than when we were younger. Because, again, we didn't really know what we were doing then. We've learned now. So, listen. Let them speak their mind. Don't always get offensive, but you got to listen. And you got to do something with what they say. If somebody tell you that that's a problem for them or they don't like it no more, you got to do something with it, and you can't become offensive about it.
Right.
In business, it's okay to fail, but it's also okay to try again. And that's why I didn't fail. I just kind of put it on the back burner. Obedience is key. If you got it, you got it. And you can't let anybody take that away from you. I got it.
Yeah.
You got it. We just got to do what God said do.
Yeah.
Be obedient to it. When it comes to my kids, yes and no. My grandkids get more yeses, but just make sure that you're always giving them a learning lesson. I think they always need to learn something every day. I also had to learn that my kids have a voice. And I also have to be willing to listen to them the same way I was listening in my marriage. I do got to listen because they have feelings too. So, listen. I guess the key thing is listening and then obeying.
That's good. That's good. My dad always asks us that when we go through something. He like, "What did you learn?" I'm like, I don't want to talk about that right now.
Yeah.
Like,
It ain't always easy to give. Sometimes,
yeah.
sometimes in that moment you don't want to give. But the reason why he asked, speaking from experience, is because you want to know that they did learn something.
Yeah.
That they know how to handle it if that arises the next time. You just got to know that if anything happened, your kids, what you've instilled in them, they've got it.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so I can't have a middle child podcast without asking you, are you the middle child?
Well, okay. No and yes. So my actual parents are both deceased, but it was just me and my sister. At 9, when my mom passed, my aunt adopted me. And so I wouldn't technically be the middle child. I have an older brother, and then there's me, and then another brother and a younger sister.
Okay.
And my sister it'd be my sister, I guess, if we put it in there like that. So no, I wouldn't technically be
Okay.
maybe the middle child. My husband's saying yes.
Yeah.
Because it would be my sister first, then my brother, then me, then another one. I guess I might be middle.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, I'm middle.
Okay.
I had to think about it.
He didn't want to claim it.
I had to think about it. Yeah, okay, I'm in the middle.
Ain't nothing wrong with being the middle child.
Nah, but I guess I don't feel that way. It's because they come to me for everything. I don't feel like the middle child. I feel like the older.
The oldest.
But that's the yes syndrome.
That's interesting.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
I feel like I'm the middle one.
Yeah,
I do. A lot of people don't think I carry myself like a middle one. In the mindset that I'm in now, yes.
Okay.
But if you would have asked me when I was younger, no. Because that's why I centered the podcast around being seen, appreciated, and loved. Because like when you're the middle child, you're trying to live up to the expectations of the oldest one, and then you're also trying to stay in the picture because the youngest one then came and kind of. So it's more so like you trying to just. It's hard to develop identity. I'll put it that way. As the middle child. So,
and that's why I say, like, I looked up him and he was like, yeah, but I've never felt, because I'm big. My personality is big.
Yeah.
So I've never felt in the middle, per se. But they come to me for a lot of things. Like, I'm not like the big mama. For Christmas, Thanksgiving, I cook. You know, we come to me.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily feel like the middle child.
That's good. That's good.
But that's just because I'm a fool.
Yeah.
I'm a fool. I'm loud. You know, I'm fun. I'm me.
That's good. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
All right. So if people want to book the food truck, if they want to just follow your experience, hopefully get the podcast and stuff going again, how can they find you on your platform?
So Facebook is Lily Harris.
Okay.
And that's where most of my people are. I have probably like 11,000, maybe 10,000. He might have the 11,000 followers.
Okay.
And then I am on Instagram. It's DE_LICIOUS. It's Delicious. And then the best way, I do have a business page as well, is Delicious Food Truck. But the main place would be on the Lily Harris page. I do everything off of there.
Okay. Well, it was good having you today. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me, guys. Again, this is episode 11, and I'm so excited. I don't even know what 1 means, but episode 11. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me on the Middle Child Podcast with Miss Lily Harris.
Thank you.
The delicious.
You got it.
Smash Burger food truck. Guys, go try that. If you are in Alabama, or if y'all just want to pay her to come to wherever you are, she gave you her credentials. Look her up. And again, thank you for joining me on the Middle Child Podcast. You are seen here. You are appreciated here. And most of all, you are loved here. Cannot wait to see you next time.